The cabinet changes that will take place are as follows. Tony Burke will be the Minister for Home Affairs, the Minister for Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, Minister for Cyber Security, as well as continuing to be Minister for the Arts and Leader of the House. Tony, of course, is a senior minister who's been focused on a range of portfolios, has done a great job in employment and workplace relations. He has held similar portfolios in the past, and he's someone who will bring that experience to what remains a challenging portfolio. Julie Collins, having done an outstanding job as the Housing Minister, will move to the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, whilst retaining Minister for Small Business. Julie, this is a portfolio that she held in opposition, has experience for it. Tasmania is, of course, a great centre of agriculture as one of the drivers of the Tasmanian economy, and Julie will bring that experience to the portfolio. Clare O'Neil will be the Minister for Housing and Minister for Homelessness. Clare, of course, is a great communicator. She'll lead the delivery of our ambitious Homes for Australia plan that has been established by Minister Collins, and will be able to pursue the great challenge that we have of delivering the range of programs, all aimed at delivering further supply and making sure that the issue of housing is dealt with, something that you can't deal with overnight, but something that requires a concerted approach, and Clare O'Neil will certainly bring that to the fore. Senator Murray Watt will be the Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations. Murray will continue the important work in this portfolio, including the commitments that we spoke about yesterday at the State Conference of the ALP about same job, same pay, and also will be the lead minister in Cabinet, of course, responsible for skills and training. Senator Malarndirri McCarthy will take the position of Minister for Indigenous Australians. Malarndirri joins Cabinet. I've read a range of speculation over coming days about portfolios. That's one you all got right. Malarndirri was the obvious person to move into that portfolio, building on the legacy of Linda Burney while bringing her own lived experience and advocacy to the Cabinet table as someone who's an experienced, like Linda, former member, in this case, of the Northern Territory government, but someone, of course, from a remote community in the Northern Territory to fulfil that role. Pat Conroy will move into the Cabinet as the Minister for Defence Industry and Capability Delivery, Minister for International Development and the Pacific. Pat also, he goes into Cabinet. Obviously, AUKUS, both Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 are critical. Pat's been an important member of our National Security Committee, and I've made the decision that this area is such an important area of delivery that it's worthy of two Cabinet ministers. He will join Richard Marles, of course, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence, as Cabinet ministers. There are some ministry changes as well. Andrew Giles will be the Minister for Skills and Training. 500,000 Australians have had access to fee-free TAFE. Brendan O'Connor delivered the National Skills Agreement with states and territories, and we think that the issue of vocational education and training is just as important as a university degree. With the creation of Jobs and Skills Australia, it's also about workforce planning, and that will enable Andrew to bring the experience that he's had as well with the migration issue to the issue of skills and training. Senator Jenny McAllister will be the Minister for Cities and the Minister for Emergency Management. So the infrastructure portfolio will be Catherine King as the Minister for Infrastructure, Transport, Regional Development and Local Government, with Christian McBain looking after the regional side of what is a very large portfolio of delivery, as well as local government, and Jenny looking after the urban side of that portfolio, and in addition taking over from Murray Watt the important issue of the Minister for Emergency Management, looking after the EMA that we've established. Jenny's experience in climate change and energy climate change issues will enable her to bring that experience to the issue of resilience when it comes to emergency management. One of the things that we want to do where possible is not to wait for the impact of disasters and then to work out how you recover, but where possible invest in advance as well, so that you mitigate some of the impact of the natural disasters that Australia is unfortunately having at a more frequent but also more acute way. There are a range of assistant ministry changes as well. In the areas of Home Affairs and Immigration, assisting Tony Burke will be Matt Thistlethwaite as the Assistant Minister for Immigration and Julian Hill as the Assistant Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. Pat Gorman will, in addition to his role supporting myself and supporting the public service, will be Assistant Minister to the Attorney General. Jed Carney will have added to her title and work the Assistant Minister for Indigenous Health that was previously undertaken by now Minister McCarthy. Senator Anthony Chisholm will have added to his existing work in regional development Assistant Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, which we think is a natural fit as well. Senator Tim Ayres will have a change to his title from Assistant Minister for Manufacturing to Assistant Minister for a Future Made in Australia, something that is at the centre of the government's agenda as we go forward. Kate Thwaites will be the Assistant Minister for Social Security, Assistant Minister for Ageing and Assistant Minister for Women. And Josh Wilson will be the Assistant Minister for Climate Change and Energy, an area in which he is passionate and an area previously undertaken by now Minister McCarthy. In addition to that, I'll be appointing 3 additional special envoys. Peter Khalil will be the Special Envoy for Social Cohesion. We know that in today's climate there is a great deal of concern about disharmony. Peter Khalil is someone who's worked with communities very much in his multicultural electorate, and he will be a very strong advocate and will work with communities across the board on the issue of social cohesion. Luke Gosling, of course, is a veteran and will provide support as a Special Envoy for Defence, Veterans Affairs in Northern Australia. We know as a result of the Defence Strategic Review there is more and more happening in Australia's north. As a member for Solomon and as a former veteran, we think that Luke is well positioned to be able to provide advice there. And Andrew Charlton will be the Special Envoy for Cybersecurity and Digital Resilience. This will be a special task that I've discussed with Andrew, as well as with Tony Burke, the Minister for Cybersecurity, and with Michelle Rowland, the Minister for Communications, about where Australia and indeed the world is going on the range of issues with technology changing the way that we relate to each other, the way that our entire society functions. This is something that requires someone away from the day-to-day activity to give thought to how Australia positions ourselves, to not only avoid some of the bad consequences which are there, but also seize the positive opportunities which are there as well. Andrew Charlton is a great thinker, and he's someone who I wanted to step up in this role. These combined changes, I think, represent a significant move forward. I would expect that this is the team that I will take to the election when it is held sometime in the future. And it is a team, I think, that tomorrow, for people's information, the swearing in will take place. I'll recommend to Her Excellency the Governor-General that the swearing in take place at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then there'll be a full meeting of the new ministry at 11 o'clock, just about 100 metres from here. Happy to take questions.